Hi Scorpio, welcome to Spiritualista. This is your weekly energy forecast from the 22nd until the 28th of September. If you like a personalized deep dive reading, the link to my Etsy shop is below. So welcome to your first video that is in this format of me showing my face and presenting myself this way. We're still gonna keep it familiar. We're still gonna look at the cards, of course, and especially now, because look at them, they're beautiful, they're pink, and they're bigger this time. But I thought it was just going to be a little bit more fun, a little bit more intimate to get to know you guys in this way and talk directly to you rather than just have a top-down view all the time. So that's what I'm doing now. All right, so guys, let's get right into your reading. I'm really excited. I'm always excited for you guys. Like, Scorpio readings are, honestly, I'm not just saying this to everyone, but they are the most fun ones to do, actually. And don't tell anyone that I said this, but you are my favorite sign. You truly are my favorite sign because of the intensity. And especially, some of you might know this already, but especially if you have a Scorpio moon. I know that that's extremely niche, but it's just the way it is. I love Scorpio moons. I'm seriously low-key obsessed with Scorpio moon placements. I don't have one myself. I have a Pisces moon, so it's still intuitive, but like Scorpio moon intensity of intuition is just next level. So truly admire that whenever people have that specific configuration in their software. So let's see here what the universe has for you, Scorpio. Let's go. Oh, right, that was quick. All right, so present moment. All right, the Nine of Pentacles, that is you right now. And then let's see here. So your crossing energy is why? Like always, right? Always. It's always there. It's crazy at this point. Like, it's your card. It is your card. But it's crossing, so it's challenging for you, okay? Yeah, we're going to talk about that some more. Let's see the rest. All right, so the Six of Pentacles is in your crowning, so that is your conscious mind. And then in your subconscious mind or your foundation, we do have the Seven of Wands. And then in your recent past, we have the King of Wands. And in the near future, we do have the Ten of Pentacles. Oof. Total financial and material abundance with that card. That's interesting. Good to have that. And the Fool is your suggested approach. And then what you need to know are your surrounding energies. We do have the Empress. And in the hopes and fears position, we do have the Eight of Wands, which is just speed, like driven through speed. High acceleration for you guys. And then we have your potential future. Beautiful. Beautiful. Like, Tower, totally worth it with the Ten of Cups. Like, seriously, best card. And then we have the bottom of the deck here. Oh, so good. Like, such a good spread, guys, honestly. So it's the Nine of Cups. Amazing, beautiful. All right. Oh, I'm excited about this one. I told you, like, all your readings are so good. All right, so let's do it. Let's get right to it. All right, so we're going to start here as usual in the center of your reading. And that's the Nine of Pentacles. It's being crossed by the Tower. As usual, the Tower. So let's talk about it, because it's not bad. It's not bad, but I'm gonna give you some takes on what we can do about it at this point, because it's very, very, very reoccurring. I talked to my friend last night. I was sending her like a behind the scenes of this reading, and I was holding the Tower and just making this face, and she's like, don't tell me that's the Tower. Is this the Tower? I'm gonna die if it's a Tower. And it is a Tower. It's here again, and there is a reason as to why it's always constantly coming up for you guys. But I'm going to start talking about this here first. So Nine of Pentacles is all about self-sufficiency. It's about independence. So it tells me that you're sitting in this confidence that comes from knowing that you can actually rely on yourself. So at the center of your week here, there's this energy of just standing really strong in your accomplishments and of having created this stability and this abundance through your own efforts here. But crossing with the Tower, like, at this point, like, we all likely know what that means. And maybe even if you're new to the channel, you've seen the Tower come up in other readings. So it's just sudden disruption, right? And it's the collapse and the shift of something that you thought was solid to you, basically. So together, these two cards, they tell me that while you're standing really strong here in your independence, something around you is still shaking that foundation to take away what doesn't serve you. And it's important to say that it's not there to punish you, right? That's really important, because everybody's so freaked out by the Tower. It's not there to just be mean to you, right? And just take away all the things you love and all the things that you enjoy about life. But like, it truly is about just aligning yourself with your highest version, according to your soul, according to your soul's original blueprint, what's best for you, what's best for your healing journey, according to your contracts, your higher self, all the rigs, all the setups that you've made before coming down here. And it's just, it knows. And that's the thing, we humans always feel like we know so much, and we're so smart, we're so intelligent, we're so attuned to all the little subtle nuances in life. But then again, there's always something higher. There's always something higher. There's always something infinitely more wise that has the full picture of what's going on, that knows that, dude, no, this is not being beneficial to you here. It's not, and this is the point where it's coming up so frequently that I have to start telling you guys that you have to start accepting this truth, because yeah, you are strong. Like, especially here with the Nine of Pentacles, you are strong. You have to recognize your strength and your resilience. Even when this happened and this unexpected change just shakes the structures around you to eliminate those more toxic, unstable structures in your life. But why it's coming back over and over is because obviously you are still holding on to that, and you're still quite incapable of letting go of something that's, what that is. I mean, you can comment below if you want to share what that is, if it's not too personal for you to share on YouTube, but it's just something that is hurting you, dude. Like, it's hurting you, it's not good, but at the same time, it's sort of like such a concrete comfort zone at this point for you that you just don't want to let go of that. And it could be anything, really. Like, it could be a relationship, it could be someone in your life that you're connected with, like romantically, or family, platonic. It could be your work, could be your living arrangements, your living situation. I don't know, it's going to be individual for each one of you, but it's definitely something that you are aware of, that this is the pattern. And this is the thing that's over and over damaging and hurting me and causing this huge chaos in my life. And I still feel unable to entirely cut the cords with that. So the universe is constantly having to step in and just sort of like increase the volume dial and just escalate the conflict more and more and more, so that you can finally make that decision yourself in order to just like get away from that, And that's why it keeps repeating, because obviously there's something still there that's grabbing you, like grabbing your attention and putting your energy in this place or in this person that's obviously, like, honestly, it's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. And I think that, like, I don't have to tell you that, but at the same time, you need to know that it's time to step out of it, even if it's painful, and even if you're unsure of where you're going to land after that, and what your path is after this, and what you're going to discover, and what you're going to like be able to, follow, what kind of thread you're going to be able to follow after you unleash this thing here, or release this thing here. But yeah, you need to do so. It's not good for you. It's not good for you. And then crowning, you have the Six of Pentacles, and that's on the top of your mind here. And this card is all about the flow of giving and receiving balance. So it has to be like in a very generous way, where you get to receive the same amount of input that you give to others. So mentally, tells me that you're very much focused on fairness here, and how your energy and your resources are being shared in your relationships or in your work, and where your attention is being distributed here. So it shows me that you're thinking about reciprocity, and if things are feeling equal and balanced, and if there's mutual support going on in your connections. So Six of Pentacles is asking you to look at whether what you're giving and receiving is actually aligned here, and it might highlight your desire for more harmony in this exchange here. And then you have the Seven of Wands. So this is you setting boundaries, and this is it's you holding your grounds and your defenses. So yeah, it tells me that deep down, like, you've been in this position where you had to protect your progress, and where you felt like you needed to stand firm against pressure and against opposition here. So it tells me that your foundation is resilience. And beneath everything, there's a core of like determination that just refuses to back down, even when you feel like you're being challenged here. Oh, okay, and I do gotta say this because I'm getting this very clearly for some of you guys that these two here in combination to each other could actually be the solution to this, because Tower doesn't necessarily mean that it's gonna be just like cutting the cord entirely with the person or with the situation. It doesn't mean that you're gonna have to ghost them, that you're gonna have to, I don't know, find a new job, move to a new country. Like, it could mean that, of course, it could be that dramatic, but there could be that you need to be able to stabilize this toxicity here that's going on. And in order to do so, this is the key, where you have to be setting your boundaries in order to reach this balance here. And if the situation is, especially in a connection where it feels very much unbalanced right now, and you're the one doing all the giving and they're the one just doing all the receiving all the time, and you start to communicate and they actually are willing to listen and apply the steps to heal that wound and to start distributing the energy more evenly, then the Tower won't be necessary either, because then you're going to be able to, move on from that. You're going to be able to heal those patterns within your karma, within yourself, within this person, with the help of this person, of course. You cannot just heal them. They have to take the steps, but you can absolutely encourage that. You can absolutely communicate that. And this is what it's telling you. This is what it's telling you. So it doesn't mean the end, the absolute end. You're never going to see them again. You're never going to talk to them again. You're never going to work there again. You're never going to live there again. But there is definitely some healing required for you to be able to stay in that situation. And that healing energy is definitely this, definitely the balance, definitely the reciprocity, and definitely the boundaries there that are very much necessary for you to keep setting, even though you're being met with challenges and resistance from this person, likely when you are trying to set them. But then just have the self-respect and awareness in yourself enough to know when it's time to walk away, and when you're just talking to a wall and a person that is not receiving the messages that you are trying to send them. So just in that case, at some point, enough is enough, you know? You're gonna know if that applies to you, and you're gonna know when it does. And then the recent past with the King of Wands. So this is vision and this is confidence in action here. So recently you've been stepping into more authority and more confidence, and like, it could be like anything. It could be whether that's your personal life, it could be your work. And the King of Wands, like, it reflects passion and charisma. I see it always as a very Libran card, actually. It's like, it's a flirty card. It's a very fiery card. It's very, gets along with people because it's just like, he's so good at what he does, you know, and he's very charming. And so, it's very inspiring. Like, it takes charge and he helps people, he inspires people. So this influence in your past shows me that you've been carrying this very strong visionary energy. And it might have been the thing, actually, that just set the stage here for this Tower moment that's shaking things up now. And especially if it's a person around you that's acting up and causing this, because then it could be that they're looking at you in this energy and they're feeling threatened by that. So they're trying to sort of take you down a few notches and just like deflate you so that they can shine, so that they can take over, so that they can feel like they are in their power by, draining the power from you. And then you have the Ten of Pentacles there in your future. So this is stability, right? This is long-term abundance for you guys. So this is beautiful, because despite the Tower crossing your present, like, your near future is pointing towards more security, and you're just getting to feel more fulfilled. And not just for yourself, but like in the wider sense of family and the structures that you're building in your community here overall. So this card shows me that what feels really unstable right now is actually clearing space for more deep and more lasting stability and connections. So that's good. It's a very, very positive card to have there. So you have something to look forward to here with the Tower too. So this is the new path that you're scared of opening. It's good. It's a good path. And then suggested approach to Fool. So that's your advice this week. This is all about new beginnings. So this is about having the courage to start over again and just like rediscover what's unknown, and have the courage to do so. So the Fool as an advice for you is like, it's not to not cling like too tightly to the things that are falling apart here again, and just, it's that trust the new path that's opening before you, even if it still feels quite a bit unclear what that is. And most definitely it's gonna be something better. than what you're leaving behind here, even if it's hard to trust that right now. So suggested approach it is about willingness to embrace and to stay open to the unknown, and that you're going to start enjoying this newfound freedom as soon as you allow this tower here to just do its thing and just clear the way for something better to develop in your life. And then what you need to know with the Empress, that's like, yeah, total abundance. Empress is total abundance. Like, it's what you need to know is that it is available to you now. And she's a reminder that even as the old structures fall away, there's this new life being created here from this really nurturing and creative, beautiful energy here. So this card is showing me that, yeah, your environment is just full of potential and it's full of support and it's ready to help you grow out of this hard phase that you're going through. And then your hopes and fears with the Eight of Wands, that's just your hope for momentum and progress here. And this is huge, huge drive for movement forward, where you want things to pick up speed and you want to move out of stagnation and you want to move into flow, but there's also a fear that it's happening way too fast and that you won't be able to control the pace when there are so many dramatic changes going on for you, like all at once. So you're navigating both this excitement, but also lots of nervousness around this fast and very obvious change that's going on in your life. And potential future is a 10 of Cups. So looking ahead, this is beautiful. This is fulfillment. This is like the ending of this dramatic spread on a really positive note of just happiness and just emotional harmony for you. So it shows that your potential future is about creating stability and just deeper and happier connections. So it's beautiful, because look at that. Like, you have the 10 of Pentacles here in your near future, and you have the 10 of Cups in your potential future. So it's really two great outcomes here that are waiting for you, as long as you're willing to either invest in healing this or just finally accepting, letting go of this. And that's what's waiting for you here on the horizon. So it's good. This is material stability. This is emotional stability here. So you have the whole package here waiting. So there's nothing to be scared of. There's nothing to be scared of. It's like, it's family, it's love, and it's the kind of happiness that comes from just being really, truly aligned with the people and the places that matter the most to you. And then the bottom of the deck is the 9 of Cups. So that's the base, that's the undercurrent of your week. And again, that's personal fulfillment, that's satisfaction. So beneath everything else here, you're going to get your wishes fulfilled here. And there's a reminder that happiness is possible and that your desires are not out of reach here. So yeah, to summarize your week, like, yeah, 9 of Pentacles crossed by the Tower. So that's independence just being met by really sudden change as usual. But you're being strong in yourself. You're being strong in your growth. Like, you're clearing space. You're shaking the structures around you to clear the space for your growth even more. On your mind, the 6 of Pentacles is asking you to look into balance, to look into fairness in your connections, and then like have that resilience here in the foundation and this determination to just hold your ground and hold your boundaries very firm. And in the recent past, the King of Wands is showing me leadership, it's showing me vision. While the 10 here, the 10 of Pentacles, is promising stability and like long-term abundance for you. So your approach is going to be to embrace new beginnings with openness, with trust. And with the Empress here, just showing that abundance and creativity are available to you as soon as you let go through the Tower here. And then hopes and fears with the 8 of Wands. So you're looking for quick progress, but you're really nervous about the speed as well as the volume of change that is going on. And then the 10 of Cups in your potential future is just showing me, like, yeah, it's emotional fulfillment and it's harmony and it's happiness. And so you're getting to enjoy the things that you've healed so that you can finally integrate those things and finally be at a place of peace for once, you know. And then the 9 of Cups here at the base is reminding you that personal joy and just emotional satisfaction are within reach for you. So the bigger story here is that's per usual for you guys. Like, it's one of transformation through disruption here and of foundations shaking so that deeper stability and happiness can actually be built. So this week is about trusting. And it's about embracing the changes and the new beginnings and just remembering that what falls away now is making space for this. It's both abundance here and fulfillment. And that's all I have for you today, Scorpio. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope this reading resonated. And if so, please give it a like and let me know in the comments below which part resonated the most with you. And if you enjoy my content, if you like my channel, then yeah, it would be a fun idea to actually subscribe to it. Not to sound like a cliche YouTuber, but it's a little bit different in this case because my channel is like this big, which means that the algorithm is having a really hard time finding my content and pushing it out to the right people. And I would love to be a little bit more helpful and help others connect to my readings and help others understand a little bit more about their energy. But it's really hard to reach out when the algorithm isn't showing your content. So if you want to make sure to find me again in this massive jungle of YouTube videos, then make sure to subscribe and hit the little bell so that you know whenever I post, which is, by the way, every week. So hopefully I will see you guys in the next one. All right, bye.